We're back again with John Miller from Adirondack Energy Services. Now, John, you've got another piece of equipment in your hands. Can you please explain to us what you're going to do? And apparently, you're going to check some of our pressurization or at least ventilation issues in the home.
What this fan is for is to set up over the fan designated for mechanical ventilation in a home. Mechanical ventilation is required as part of the Energy Star program. They feel like the house is tight enough. You have burn off in a new home from chemicals of carpet, paint, flooring, whatever it might be. You might have a home where it's a couple that doesn't open and close doors quite a bit. So the program requires a mechanical ventilation.
These are naturally occurring gases from the manufacturer?
Yes, this is just a typical burn off of any new construction. And what they want is the ventilation of the home that forces the issue because the Energy Star homes are built so tight.
Oh, very good.
We're obviously going to meet our tightness requirements. So what I had done is already checked out the ventilating fan in the upstairs bathroom.
Okay.
It's set up direct to the breaker box so that it runs continuously. The homeowner does have a choice if they want to shut it off, but by design what we'd like them to do is to let the fan run. This home requires that the fan moves 75 CFMs per hour, and right now measuring the fan came in at 77. So we're meeting the requirement for mechanical ventilation.
Very good. Now, if you'd like to please show this fan and testing machine. This actually fits right over the unit itself and seals it or isolates it to the actual ceiling and to the fan itself. And you can test the efficiency of the unit and verify that it does meet the energy requirements.
In the program, there's two components. When Energy Star first started in New York State, they met all the national standards. And then New York's Health and Safety Division got involved and required the mechanical ventilation. Mm-hmm. They felt there could be a potential problem.
For air quality issues?
Yes,
okay.
yes. So the mechanical ventilation in New York has been part of the program since it signed on with the feds. And that should alleviate things. Now, I still have builders who have clients that go, my house is going to be too tight, I don't like it. At some point, you can't fight that client.
But it's for a builder and for a potential home buyer, that's more of an educational process, is
yes.
that correct?
Yes.
So they understand what they're buying and why they're buying
it. It used to be they were worried about other factors too. Maybe it was a coal furnace that was heating the house. Maybe it was wood stove that wasn't necessarily a tight sealed wood stove.
Right.
So they have combustion gases that are leaking into the house, and they know that it makes them sick. So they want a house that's a little drafty to combat, I'm going to say, the inefficiency of the equipment that they have. All right. Today's equipment, for instance, this furnace in the basement, it draws its combustion air from the outside. It doesn't even affect the house pressure. Mm-hmm. Pulls air in to burn, exits air to the outside. As long as there's integrity in every joint along the way, you might as well have that furnace sitting outside in the backyard in terms of how it affects your air quality.
Right.
So it'll have no pressure differential because even though your blower's running, there's no air from the outside that's changing at all. It's not creating a negative on the inside like a natural draft fireplace will. You're going to burn inside, you've got the chimney open, you've got a negative pressure in that room.
Right. Has to draw from somewhere.
Right. It has to. And now, in that sense, the replacement air has to come from somewhere.
Right.
So in my dad's place...
what they call makeup air.
Yeah. And what I often found with him was, and on top of the fact that his furnace his wood stove was burning much too hot, he always had the windows cracked right next to his chair.
Right.
The makeup air is coming in, it's cool. It cools him off in that sense to a reasonable temperature, because some of these wood stoves will crank the house to 100 degrees without a problem.
Sure.
But he's also compensating for loose fitting doors and allowing some makeup air to come in that's fresh, if you will.
It's happening because of the integrity of the building.
Yes.
Regardless.
Yes. Yep.
Great. Let's go over the rings, which is, and if you want me to explain this correctly.
Sure.
The rings are different size orifice, or orify, if you wish. And they represent the amount of draw, the efficiency of the actual house. Now I'm going to show this, if you don't mind. This actually will go over the fan at some point. The A ring,
yes,
the B ring, and the C ring.
Yeah, your C ring basically is just a cover for the entire unit. Usually you have open A and B. I always start a house on open, and then I work my way, which is the situation that it's in now. We've gotten a base pressure for the home. We're going to depressurize to negative 50 pascals, which represents that 20-mile-an-hour wind, if you will. And if we need to have a tighter ring on that, then the manometer is going to flash at me and say, we've got a problem here. We can be more accurate by adding rings.